Okay, so something that all of us love is chocolate. So today I'm going to share with you a recipe on German chocolate cake because there's times that you go to events and there might be a dessert that you want to take with you. So this is a good thing to make and take with you. First of all, before I get into making it, I'm going to talk a little bit about the invention of German chocolate cake. In the book, The Amazing Maya Inventions by Sherry Rewalt, she states that the cocoa bean was invented, or well, it was discovered by the Mayans and the Aztecs, so that allows for us to make products that contain chocolate, such as the German chocolate cake. So, first of all, to start this cake, you take 2 cups of flour and you pour it into a bowl, like this. 1, 2. And then you would take a tablespoon of baking powder, or baking soda, I'm sorry, and you would mix it up. And then you would take 4 ounces of Nestle's chocolate chips, which equals half a cup, and then you would do a half a cup of water and you would boil it to where it's melted, and that's what I have in this pan right here. And while that's cooling down, then you take a cup of butter, and then you take a, 2 cups of sugar, and you mix them together until it's kind of smoother. And then once that's done, then in this bowl you would crack 4 eggs, which I already have here, and you would add a cup of milk and then a teaspoon of vanilla, and then you would end up adding your dry product of your sugar and your butter to the liquid mixture. So then you add that on top of it. You would combine it to where it's kind of thicker. Or excuse me, more thick. And while that sits for a second, then you would take and you would grease your pan, which I like to use Pam, and you would do it in a 13 by 9 inch pan, and you'd spray the whole thing, sides and everything. Then you end up combining this into the flour and baking powder mixture, and then you would add your chocolate into it as well. And then you would end up stirring all of this together. Another thing I want to let you know is that this recipe came from Betty Crocker, and German chocolate was also something that my grandmother liked to make, so that's why I'm sharing this recipe with you, because it's been passed on from my family, from her down to me. So it's something that we use on holidays, and it's really good. Another thing I want to let you know is that if you look at www.npr.org, it states that German chocolate cake was invented in 1852, and it didn't become well known until 1957. And from then on, everybody has seemed to love it. So anyways, after you take your mixture and you mix it all together, then you end up dumping it in your 13 by 9 inch pan, and you'll end up cooking it for about 40 minutes. After you cook it for about 40 minutes, you set it aside and you let it cool for about an hour. While it's cooling, you can make the topping, which consists of 3 eggs, a cup of milk, a tablespoon of vanilla, a cup of chopped pecans, a cup of coconut flakes, and then a half a cup of butter. And you would just end up mixing it all and putting it in a saucepan like this, and then you would put it on the stove and you would boil it, or not boil it, you would simmer it till it bubbles, and then you end up letting it cool down for about an hour as well. Once both of them are cooled, then you take your topping and you spread it on top of your cake. And if you don't have time to make all of that stuff, including the topping, then you could just end up buying the Duncan Hines German chocolate mix, or the spread, and spreading it on your cake. Another thing I want to let you know is that the German chocolate cake, I found out was, let's see, it was an American creation, and it was invented by Sam German, and I found that on the www.cookingamerica.net website, and I didn't realize that German chocolate was derived from his name, so that's how they came up with the name. And as you can see, I'm going to show you what the finishing results look like. And it ends up looking like this. And I had made one before I started my presentation, but everybody thought it smelled so good, so everybody ate a piece of it. But you can see all the coconut and the how it's soft on top, and then the inside ends up looking all moist. So, and then as you could see, it mainly consisted of the chocolate, pecans, and coconut. And let's see. Well, I guess that's the end of it. I have it all. You will end up liking this. This is a very informative speech. So go ahead and make it and try it.
Yay!